I have tried a number of products from the Jane Davenport collaboration with Michaels. I've tried the mermaid markers, the art journal, the watercolor palettes, the water brushes. I've enjoyed them all. And now I'm going to try the Inkredible Pen. I'm going to write this so you can understand what in the hell it's saying, because I'm like, what the fuck does it say? Incredible. Incredible. That's what it's called. The Inkredible Pen. I can't believe it's taking me this long just to get through the name of the fucking pen. So what this is it seems to be like a fountain style pen, like a drawing pen. I'll read what it says in the back, and it says nothing on the back. That's interesting. It just contains one pen, one converter cartridge, and 3 ink cartridges. Instructions inside. So while I'm busting into this, I will tell you that this was, all the things. This was $7.99 at Michael's, and I used a coupon because I live that life, the coupon life. So it was 40% off of that, and I'm not mathing super well right now, so we'll see. But so here it is. We've got the pen with the lid, which is a really pretty, like shimmery, like gold and black, and you can feel like the embossing of the name on it, and it's got like a nice kind of feeling to it. Even empty, cap snaps on super, like, you know, sometimes pens, they close and they feel kind of weak sauce. This one is nice and like hearty. So there's the pen and the cap, and we have 3 ink capsules, and then the ink converter, which I don't really know what that's for. So I guess I'll have to figure that out, won't I? And we have instructions. Oh, according to the instructions, if you put this into the pen, you can use this with dip ink rather than like dip it into ink rather than having ink in the pen. So that's kind of cool. I'm not going to do that right now because I'm not super great with dip pens anyway, but if you want me to do a demonstration of this with the converter cartridge in it as a dip pen, let me know in the comments. But today I'm going to focus on the basic cartridges. There's a little additional information in here as well. Non-waterproof inks. This is not waterproof. Only load fountain pen friendly dye-based inks into the converter cartridge. I don't think I actually have any of those, so maybe that's another reason I'm not going to do it. It says do not use acrylic-based inks, carbon inks, mineral-based inks, India inks, or opaque white inks because they will likely clog the pen. Keep your pen clean with a soft cloth, store flat or with the nib up, clean the nib and recap the pen properly when not in use. Okay, seems like a lot to do for just a fucking pen, but I guess we're gonna have to figure this out. So let's get this fucking cartridge in here. And if I'm cussing a lot, it's because I get more cussy when I get out of my element, and fountain pens are just, oh, nails like a chalkboard. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so you open the pen. So this is the nib, and this is the not nib. And then you put the cartridge in with this side towards here. It says snap, so I gotta get a snap here. Haven't heard a snap yet. There is a snap. Okay, so you gotta give it some pressure. And then you screw it back on, and it should be good to go. So let's test this fucker out. I'm gonna zoom you in now. Let's zoom in. And I'm just using regular printer paper. Test, test, test. Nothing's coming out. Why is nothing coming out? Let's press harder. Let's see if that works. Wait, I see something. I lied, I don't see anything. Shit! I mean, I could be doing something wrong here. I'm not a fountain pen person. It's not like I have any idea what I'm fucking doing, but shouldn't there be some ink at some point? And this is poked in. Oh, there it is. Only took 85 years. Okay, so we got some ink. We have the ink. All right. I'm going to try and flip this over because I've got like the hardcore press down on all of this. So let's test this out. Let's just do a little straight line with very little pressure. That's straight line with very little pressure. Add some more pressure. So you have a little bit of line heaviness. Not much, but I mean, that's good because I tend to blob fountain pens. Okay, let's do a wavy line. That was with no change in pressure. Let's add some change in pressure. Heavy strokes down, light strokes up. Well, from what I'm seeing, there is a very slight change in line width, like line weight, but not much. All of my pressure very little pressure. So there is some change, but you have to really work at it to get any change in pressure. I'm gonna do some testing out here. Let me just write the alphabet out. See this? I wrote an uppercase M and a lowercase n. I'm fucking great. Okay, let's write this correctly. I am so good. Let's be honest here, I'm not super experienced with fountain pens, so what I'm seeing might be a trait of fountain pens, but I do not like how uneven the ink is. Like, I'll write my name here in uppercase letters. And like, it's like I can see, looking at this, I can see that, like, look at this, how rich this looks right here on the D, but then how light this looks here on the D. We're looking at the D. We're looking closely at the D. I hope you all know that. Like, that just bothers me for writing. I don't like my ink being uneven. Like, in comparison, like, here's just like a tool gel pen that I happen to have sitting nearby. And you'll notice that on these letters, the ink flows a lot more evenly. There's no like unevenness in the ink flow, which is the most redundant thing I think I've said in a while. But I don't know if this is a fountain pen thing or not. So maybe this is meant for sketching rather than writing. So let's sketch out like a little flower. Just doing some scribbly little sketches. And see, this is fun for sketching. The unevenness kind of adds to the scribbliness of it. So that's kind of cool. So if this is meant to be like a sketching pen, I can see how it would be fun, but you have to be prepared for the amount of unevenness in your ink flow. And like, I always thought that fountain pens were supposed to give you like some like line weight payoff, and there's a little bit, but there's just not enough. And I don't like the feeling, and maybe my angling is wrong because I'm not really sure how to write with fountain pens, but the scratchiness of it is bugging the crap out of me. I've heard rumor that these ink cartridges don't last very long. I don't know for sure. This is a brand new test, so I couldn't tell you. I can keep an eye on it, though I don't know how often I'd be busting this pen out. The first time I've had one of these Jane Davenport collection items from Michaels and not liked it. Everything else I have loved, from the color payoff to the consistency to how awesome it is, and they've all lasted a really long time, but this just, I don't know. For me, this feels like a dud. Again, I'm gonna keep disclaiming this because there's gonna be some person in the comments who's like, but you don't know how to use fountain pens, Cindy, so what right do you have to judge, and blah, 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 blah. I'm judging this as a consumer who bought this at Michaels. Michaels is not Goulet pens. Michaels is not Jet pens. It's Michaels. People go to Michaels to buy things, to try them out, to experiment with them, and to not be the expert and have gone online and looked at all the things. And as a consumer who liked this line and went to Michaels, this is a disappointment. I don't want to sound like a dick saying that. I have this feeling that the comments, I'm gonna have people coming at me. It's happened before where I've reviewed something and I'm not the most versed in it. I was just trying it as a consumer and I got spanked in the comments by people who were like, well, you don't know what you're talking about. No, I don't, and that's okay. Not everybody's an expert. So if you're watching this video looking for an expert opinion on this pen, I don't got it. I'm not an expert when it comes to fountain pens. But what I am is a consumer of products at Michaels, and I cannot recommend this. This is not on my recommend list. If you want a pen to sketch with, go pick up a Pigma Micron pen or a Pitt Artist pen, and it's a much better alternative. There's a lot more, like buy a Pilot G2, you're gonna have better ink payoff than this. Just saying. And if you wanna buy something from Jane Davenport, don't go buy this pen. Go get yourself these. Spend your change on these, because these watercolor palettes are life. They are so awesome. Unless somebody in the comments can give me a compelling reason to like it, I think it's gonna be a dud, and I think this is going to be donated to my 13-year-old who may get more use out of it than I will. I hate doing product reviews where I don't really like the pen, but that's kind of where I'm at right now. I guess we're gonna call this Tip Test Tuesday, even though it might not always be pens. Well, this tip test was a thumbs down. Just giving you the heads up. Do you have like ideas on fountain pens that might work better for a heavy-handed person who wants like a chance at more regular ink flow? Because if that's the case, I'd love to know, because this was disappointing. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time.